Hi, this is Jenoir Lynne with Be More News. I'm here with Miss Johnetta Boone. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
That's great. She was the costume designer for the movie Color Girls. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
Absolutely. It was a fantastic experience, a
Mm-hmm.
wonderful opportunity to be a part of such a tremendous body of work that showcases not only women's issues, but it just brings to the platform, how women are perceived in our culture and their experiences in our culture.
Okay. And what was the process with that? Like, how did you decide which character was going to wear what and in what scene? What was your process for
Well,
that?
actually, in Deshaki's play, she has already determined the colors that the women will wear,
Mm-hmm.
and the hues, the tonality of the colors is what I then seem to sit back and meditate on to determine which color, how the color was going to be portrayed, associated with the character. And
Mm-hmm.
then a large part of my job takes place when I'm out shopping, looking for that perfect item
Mm-hmm.
that is then represented well for the character in the film.
Okay. So do you have like a ritual that you do, like to prepare yourself for getting the costumes ready? Is there something that you do every time, or is it just like you kind of flow with it, or?
Well, it's consistently you read the script, you break
Mhm.
it down, you read it multiple times.
Right.
Then you familiarize yourself with the actor who's portraying the character in the film.
Mhm.
And then you just sit back. It takes time
Yeah.
to meditate on the conceptual idea, to think about what the director's vision is, what the writer's vision is, what the actor is actually going to bring to the platform as well. You
Mhm.
take all those things into consideration, and then you go out to search the land for that exact piece. And if you don't find it, sometimes it has to be created. You have
Mhm.
the fabric dyed, you have the garment cut, you have, the fabric or perhaps draped on a mannequin
Mhm.
or a dress form, and then, you know, completely, what would you say, sculpted for the cast member and as they're portraying their character.
And did you have a hard time finding specific pieces that you wanted for this movie for Color Girls?
Sometimes I did because not everything that I'm looking for is out there.
Okay.
So then that's when I have to go in and manipulate it by color, manipulate it with dye, manipulate it with, you know, um, fitting mechanisms, whether we're altering, tailoring, or taking things loose, or,
Mhm.
shifting things around a little bit so that it's just right.
Okay. And I hear you've done some other major motion pictures. What other movies have you done the designing for?
Yes, I did Cadillac Records. I
Mhm.
designed everything that Beyonce wore
Wow.
in Cadillac Records. And Jeffrey Wright, we made his suits, and Adrian Brody
Mhm.
and Columbus Short, we made everything. So their pieces were built from scratch, so to speak.
Mhm.
A large part because it was a period movie that takes place, during a period of time between the 40s and the early 60s,
Right.
and some of the colors that the director wanted just weren't available.
Mhm.
So I wanted to recreate her vision and give some pop, some splendor, some color to the time, as well as making sure that the fabrication was what had some body and some depth
Mhm.
to it, so it wasn't just a flat color.
Okay. And you have a clothing line. Is that correct? Could you tell us a little bit about that?
I do.
Mhm.
Going back to what Donnie spoke on earlier during our segment, we I've taken the liberty to be honored to take on an
Mhm.
invitation to design a tweens girl clothing line,
Oh wow.
because the owner said, I'd like to bring some more or some beauty back to our young girls. I find that young women these days are dressing in a very provocative manner, which Donnie mentioned earlier as well.
Mhm.
It's not only the older women, it's the younger women who are dressing provocatively. If you look at what's out there, it's tight, it's
Mhm.
black, it's
Mhm.
off the shoulder, things of that nature. And so I designed a line of clothing that brings the girl back to the girl,
Right.
that gives her some pride, some elegance, some beauty, some richness without showing her body.
Right.
It comes in color, it comes in fabrication, it comes in style.
Mhm.
And we are having a trunk show at the National Harbor on November 20th.
Okay.
I'll give Donnie the information, and it will be on the website.
Perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much for meeting with me.
Yes.
Again, this is Jenoir Lynne signing off for Be More News, the news before the news, where we uncover the truth.